If you've been trying to grow on YouTube and only getting 5 or 10 views on a channel and are stuck at 5 subscribers, then this is a video you need to watch today because I'm going to outline the best tips to get more views on YouTube starting right now. This isn't something that is going to get you views in a year from today. This is going to be something that is going to get you views on your very next upload and of course help you blow up quicker than any of your other friends doing YouTube and make sure that you get monetized as quickly as possible so that you can start trying to make YouTube your full-time job, just like it's become mine. There are 7 tips in this video that I'm going to outline that have helped me turn YouTube into a full-time job, and these are just the best ways to increase your views on every single video. And make sure you guys watch all the way through because tip number 7 is something that not a lot of YouTubers really talk about, but honestly, I think it is really important. But let's get started off right in the beginning, and this is optimizing titles for your videos. Titles are basically the gateway to a video success, but there are a few important parts to creating the perfect title. Firstly, they need to convey what the actual video is about. You don't want to have a video title that is completely unrelated to what content you are actually showing. Obviously, if you are trend jacking and just trying to copy what the biggest YouTubers are doing, then you still want to have a title that is related to your own video. If you're doing a playthrough of a video game or just showing people the trailer for a video game, you don't want to clickbait it by including a different game or including famous YouTubers in the title just to try and get more clicks, because people are going to click on that video and be disappointed, and then your channel is going to get recommended less. So that is why it is really important to actually use keywords in your title that relate to what you are actually going to be providing to the viewer. The shorter that I can get a title, the better, but you also don't want to sacrifice keywords just to make the title shorter. For example, if I'm creating a video about how to grow on YouTube successfully using 7 tips and tricks, that is way too long of a title to incorporate, and chances are people aren't going to read the entire thing because it is just way too long. But if I can condense that down and try and get people to grow on YouTube today, then that is only 5 or 6 keywords. People are going to understand what the video is about, and I'm providing the information in the video on how to actually grow successfully, so then I'm not misleading people with clickbait, and I'm actually offering people what they want to hear from the video, and that all relates back to what the title actually stated. Tip number 2 though is optimizing tags for your videos as well. Now, there are a lot of people in the YouTube industry that don't really include or incorporate tags on their videos anymore, and if they do, a lot of them usually just use the same tags every single time. I actually think tags are a very good starting point for your video. They are only going to help you understand how the SEO of YouTube works, and this is also going to open doors in the future to allow you to advertise products on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, whatever you want to use that SEO knowledge for. It is all going to start from understanding YouTube tags. I feel like YouTube tags are really important when you first are starting a channel as well, because this is going to tell YouTube what your content is actually about. If you are uploading finance videos and aren't including tags, then this might get shown to people that predominantly watch gaming videos, which just isn't in your niche at all. So by incorporating tags that can be quite broad and then very specific as well, like if you're trying to teach people how to invest, you could include keywords like investing, finance, personal finance, how to get rich, what stocks to buy, things like that. It is just going to convey the message to YouTube about what that video actually is. It's going to then allow YouTube to suggest that video to people interested in those keywords and people that might have already searched those keywords as well. And then it's going to help you to rank in YouTube search as well, allowing you to get your video shown to more people. When you have a big enough audience and enough loyal viewers that are going to watch your video regardless, I feel like tags can sort of be put on the back burner and is something that you can probably overlook in the long term. But for right now, and especially when you are trying to grow your channel from the ground up, it is really important to incorporate tags from the very beginning. Our next tip is actually very similar to this as well, and this is optimizing your description to send a clear message to the viewer. We have definitely all seen descriptions on YouTube that are just so jam-packed. They will have 15 different links. They will try and include an entire transcript of the entire video. They will be including video tags in their description as well. Everything that you could possibly think of, I'm sure people have included in a single description, and this might have worked like 10 or 15 years ago when YouTube was first getting started, but it isn't what you want to do today. A video description is actually really powerful, and what you want to do is give a broad outline of what the video is. For example, on a gaming channel, you might just want to talk about what game you are actually playing, and if you're talking about a tutorial-based video and how to complete a certain part of a campaign or a certain part of an actual game, then you want to include that in the description as well, but try and keep it as limited as possible. If you also want to include links to other social media platforms where you also are trying to grow and promote other videos, then maybe what you want to do from there is just include a link tree, which is basically just a bunch of links condensed into one so that people can then click on this and then from there find all of your other pages like a Patreon, Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitch, whatever you want to include that in just one link instead of taking up like 10 or 15 different lines with all of the other links to social media platforms. You also don't really want to include tags in your description. This just makes it look really unprofessional and doesn't really benefit the actual algorithm at all, but I feel like it is still really important just to increase the viewer satisfaction. To have a good description is always going to be something that I focus on. Step number 4, we've already talked about on the channel a bunch, and this is optimizing thumbnails. If you guys want to see a full guide on how I create thumbnails, what I've done to allow them to be automated full-time as well, and of course how I come up with ideas of what I want thumbnails to include, then I can do a separate video talking about that. But basically a rule of thumb for this is when you are first starting out, you want to be creating all your thumbnails yourself, learning the best ways to create thumbnails that are going to fit your niche perfectly. If you are creating gaming videos, then you want to use snapshots or clips from that game in the thumbnail and then find a way to make it unique, include some text on there as well. And if you're doing entertainment videos, then you want to find a way to incorporate Mr. Beast style thumbnails from the very beginning. But if you aren't hiring anyone to make them, figure out a way to do them yourself where you still feel like they are good. And then when you start getting monetized, you can then use that money to hire editors and thumbnail designers that can automate this process for you and allow you to spend more time actually creating the content. Tip number 5 to increase your views and subscribers today is incorporating a really strong call to action. This is something that every single YouTuber does, and this is basically just encouraging people to like and subscribe. This is very, very common in the finance and business niche, but honestly, I feel like every single niche is going to have someone that incorporates a really good call to action. Some of the most obvious ones are Graham Stephan, who literally asks you in the first minute of the video to subscribe.
Although before we start, if you enjoy these kinds of videos and find them helpful, do me a quick favor and gently hit the like button by giving it a gentle tap so as not to crack your phone screen. That's all I ask, and in return for doing that, I'll do my best to respond to as many comments as possible.
But some of them are honestly a lot more hidden, and some are actually starting to incorporate this in a really fun way as well. Wildcat has one of the coolest call to actions I have ever seen. He literally stops the video with a green screen to say,
hey, why aren't you subscribed? It's free. You're coming back for the videos anyway. Click subscribe. Like the video as well while you're at it. Okay, back into the video.
And honestly, I think that's really cool. People are getting really creative with this because if someone sat there and literally just said to you, may as well subscribe, I feel like people would just be bored and probably wouldn't subscribe. They don't want to subscribe just for the point of subscribing. But if you're providing content and actually giving people a reason to come back to the videos, then it just makes sense that they subscribe as well. So I think call to actions definitely shouldn't be overlooked, and there is a really good way that you can incorporate them. Tip number 6 is to start using external apps to further your understanding of how YouTube works, and two of the best ones are vidIQ and TubeBuddy. Now, I'm not being sponsored to talk about these products, but I've personally used them on my main channel a bunch. They have all of these amazing features in both of them, and this can be anything from recommended video tags to actually thumbnail ideas and video ideas on a daily basis. You can also do some competitor research, so find out what your competitors are doing and then using vidIQ and TubeBuddy to analyze their performance against your performance and maybe find out what they are doing that you aren't, and seeing if this is maybe a reason why they are growing more than you. You can also use these tools to find optimized title recommendations, which is always really cool. I don't always necessarily use them, but it is always cool if you are stuck on trying to find the perfect video title. You can just use these resources to get some ideas, and that is only going to help you in the future. And finally, guys, tip number 7, one of the most underrated tips and pieces of advice that no one really talks about is actually utilizing Google Ads and the promotions on your YouTube channel. Now, this is a brand new feature. YouTube is slowly incorporating this, and I feel like it is in its really early days of actually being used properly. If you guys go on your YouTube homepage and your YouTube channel's homepage, there is going to be a little promotions tab, and basically what this is a way for you to pay YouTube to advertise your channel on the homepage, on the top of search, and of course in recommended videos as well. Now, it is sort of really easy to pick out when someone has paid for promotions, but there are actually some really cool metrics for this. And if you guys want me to do a full experiment on advertising one of my videos to like 1 million people, make sure to let me know in the comments down below, because I can definitely make that into our next video. But thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to click on this video right now if you want to see some more tips and tricks for YouTube, and I'll see you guys next time.